I think we're live. I sure as hell hope we're live. Holy smokes. Dude, today was a rough day. Holy smokes, I'm glad it's over. We'll just say we're live, even if we're not, right? Ultimately, nothing matters. This is just kind of something I'm doing just to do it, you know what I'm saying? Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Awesome. We got some good, hold on. Joseph Magnus, right? Hold on. Joseph Magnus. This is a straight bourbon whiskey finished in sherry and cognac casks. It's a triple finish. That's right. A triple finish. Okay? Obviously drinking it in a glass Karen, because we'd be crazy not to. Now, this is normally like a $100 bottle. Got it for like $80 while I was in Hawaii. Can you fucking believe it? $80. Got it for a steal, my friends. A fucking steal. Okay. So, we're gonna be, what are we gonna be doing? Hold on. We're gonna be doing many things. But most importantly, uh-oh. Why is that happening? There we go. Shift tab. Will that end it? Cool. Okay. Let's back up. Oh yeah, look at that. Flashing. Horrible. Sorry guys. That's nothing but bad news over there. Okay. We're gonna start playing now. So this stuff is fantastic. I'm glad I waited to pick it up, because I don't think I'll ever find it for $80 ever again. The nose on it is premium. The flavor is amazing, and then the mouthfeel, dude, that's like a whole new level. A whole new level. This is the stuff to get. Okay, login bonus. Let's get that real quick. Awesome. We have the login bonus. Oh. For all the days we missed, I guess? That's strange. Tongue-tied. So that's going to be the quest that we're going to be grinding out for an hour, maybe two. Who knows? We'll see how I'm feeling, right? Just trying to figure out like how I should sit is kind of rough. Especially when you got an ugly face like me. You know, you're trying to like figure out the most conducive angle so you don't look like you just crawled out of a frickin' pile of dirt. Do we need to cook? I wish that we could see our stats right in this menu. Where would it be? Right in this menu over here? I think it would be over here. Right? Right in that menu over... No, I guess it would be over there. So, I wish we could see... Hold on. I wish we could see in that left-hand corner over there where we were at when it came to our meal, but, you know, we can't. So I'm just going to cook some food anyway. Awesome. Perfect. Ooh. Ooh, I've got candies. Oh, wait, why are you saying... Oh, it's... Did this just die on me? Oh, no. This is the saddest thing to ever happen to anybody. Hold on. Please say you'll charge. Okay. Hopefully it starts charging. Yep, okay, we're good. So, just got off working a 12-hour shift. I have one more day to go, and then I have some days off. Super excited for that. This weekend I got a lot of stuff planned. I'm gonna smoke up a pork belly, smoke up some ribs, invite some friends over, just kind of hang out, drink, vibe. That's what my weekend is gonna look like. But in the meantime, we're gonna go talk to Alma, or however you pronounce her name, and we're gonna get started on this tongue-tied quest, because everybody's been saying if you want armored shit, this is the thing to kill. It's an event quest, right? Tongue-tied. Let's fucking do it. Fucking do it. I'm excited. Yeah. When you're working those long 12-hour shifts, you start thinking about stuff like nonstop. And your brain goes in crazy places too. Places you probably wouldn't even expect. Oh wow, only 3 mega potions. That's bad. Like, just the other day I was thinking about Kendrick Lamar and his kind of like career. Now, I want to make it clear. Like, I'm not like a K-Dot fan, right? Like, I'm not like a hardcore fanboy. Like, I would consider myself, I consider him one of my favorite artists, obviously, right? But I'm not like a super fan. Like, if someone were to, like, test my knowledge on K-Dot, I probably would fail, right? I've listened to all of Section 8. I've listened to Good Kid, Mad City. I've listened to, what's his first album? Or at least the first album they have on Spotify, right? Let's see. Obviously, I've listened to all of Section 8, but there's an album before that that I listened to. And it was good. Like, good musician. Worth listening to, right? Ronald Reagan era? Fantastic song. I love that song. Okay? And then, you know, Good Kid, Mad City. Fantastic music in that as well. My favorite album, and it's maybe my favorite album out of all the albums that have ever albumed. Ooh, come on, guys. Get off of me. I'm just trying to vibe here. Is To Pimp a Butterfly. I think is like one of the most perfect albums. Damn, obviously, is a really good album too. Not as good as To Pimp a Butterfly. So it's just hard to compete with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just really hard to compete with that. It's literally a perfect album by every metric. So, having listened to decent amount of his music, I would say, I feel like I can at least voice an opinion. It may not be an educated opinion, you know? Like, I don't know anything about music theory. I don't know anything about writing techniques. I don't know anything about culture. All I can speak to is what I like and what I don't like. And I can explain why I don't like certain things, right? That's all I can do. And I just got to admit, the newer stuff that K-Dot has been releasing, not a fan. Not a fan. So he releases Damn, right? Really good album. Solid album. And then right after that, the Big Steppa's album. I did not like that album, like, at all. And I didn't really like the music style. I didn't like the voice that he was doing. And to be honest, I felt like the stuff that he was talking about was not being conveyed with the writing technique and skill that he normally has for his music. And I can say that pretty confidently because he does. It's not like it's like I'm overestimating his ability or skill. It just didn't feel like up to par with the rest of his music. And what's frustrating is people say that that album is his best album. And I listened to it, and it was like a chore getting through it. And I was just like, oh man, that is rough. It should never feel like work to listen to music, right? Unless that's literally your job, like unless you're like literally a music critic. It shouldn't feel like a slog. And that's what it felt like listening to that album. And I'm like, ooh, well, that's a miss. Maybe he'll have some better stuff later in the future. So, you obviously keep an eye on Mr. K. Dot to see what he releases. And his most recent album that released back in December, I don't even know what it's called. Haven't listened to all of it, but this weird voice thing he's doing. I mean, he's kind of done voices in the past, but not this excessive, right? And maybe you like the voice. I'm not criticizing you if you do. I'm just speaking to my personal taste. I'm just like, yeah, I don't like this and I don't get it, right? Like when he threw on voices in other songs, he had like a reason for doing it, right? He was conveying like an emotion. He was conveying like a situation. And now it just feels like the voice that he's throwing on is just, there's no reason behind it. At least that's what it feels like. It's really tough dissecting this. It's because I'm trying to like understand why I don't like it. So Squabble Up is fun, right? Like it's a fun song, and I think it's the only song I've listened to all the way through. It is fun. It's a fun listen. But like it's not like his other music, right? Like I'm thinking of like Institutionalized, right? I'm thinking of like King Kuta, right? Like I'm thinking of is it for free or is it for sale? It might be for sale. Like I'm thinking of those songs, right? Maybe I'm thinking of Lust or what's another good one from Damn? Fear, right? Like I'm thinking of those songs. That's what I think of when I think of like Kendrick Lamar. And then his like newer stuff doesn't feel like that, It feels very different. I felt like a lot of like really interesting themes were being played with, and specifically Damn, right? Now the reason I like Damn so much is because it's clearly an album about him struggling with his identity and struggling with his spirituality, his religion, and also struggling with family, right? Like it's a really interesting album that's worth listening to. Good Kid, Mad City, struggling with environment, situation, culture, really good. To Pimp a Butterfly, struggling with how others perceive oneself, how culture perceives you, how your family perceives you, how you perceive yourself. What a good fucking album. And then you get like the Big Steppas, and it's like, what is this album? Like, what are the themes? Why doesn't it feel like the same Kendrick? Like, this feels different, And probably because he is different. And so, just trying to figure out and rationalize why I don't like his newer music. To put a little history, it's not like I'm like a huge, like, I'm not like trying to like rep anything here. I'm not like the biggest K-Dot fan that has ever existed, right? Like, I think the first Kendrick Lamar song I ever listened to, in the Marshall Mathers LP 2, he has like a feature on one of Eminem's songs, at the time, didn't even know who Kendrick Lamar was, right? It was just the Marshall Mathers LP, too, is really good. So I owned it, and I listened to a lot of those songs. Kendrick Lamar is on one of them. And I didn't know who he was. You know, it was a guy putting on a funny voice. It was kind of like cool. I liked it, you know. But it's like, I didn't look into him, right? Didn't look into him as an artist. And then one of my friends played for me Swimming Pools, right? Swimming Pools, really good song. And the friend who showed me that song, like, there's a reason he played that song for me. So that was cool. It was whatever. I liked Swimming Pools, but it didn't inspire me to look into more of his music yet. And then that friend, we were like, I don't know, we were arguing or debating about something inconsequential, something that didn't fucking matter. And he was rolling up a blunt, and he's like, you know what? Bitch, don't kill my vibe. And then he played the song. And I was like, this is a really good fucking song. I love this song. It's still, did that inspire me to finally look into Kendrick Lamar? I believe so. And for whatever reason, I started looking into To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't know why that's the album I started with. There had to have been a song on it, probably King Kunta. King Kunta is probably the reason I looked into it. And it was one of those albums where you play it and just every song is a fucking banger. And you're like, what the hell? Where has this been my whole damn life? Right? So I'm obsessed with Kendrick Lamar for a little bit. And then he releases Damn, right? And I'm like, oh, wow. This guy is different from everybody else. This is something special, right? And so I get really into K-Dot, and I'm like listening to all of his music, and I'm loving everything he's doing. And then he's like in other songs, and in the other songs he's in, he's like fucking destroying. You know what I'm saying? So I'm loving it. I love Kendrick's vibe. It's super relatable, you know? Super fucking relatable. You know, it's just like this really like, feels like really down to earth, goofy, kind of eccentric kind of guy who's been thrust into a very serious position in life, you know? And you get to see his playfulness. He's a very playful person, right? Even the put perspective, like even the Untitled albums I listened to, right? Like Levitate is an amazing song. I love that song. Like when I think of like Kendrick Lamar, I think of like the Cheshire Cats, you know? That's kind of the vibes he gives me. So anyway, that was a tangent. But you know, getting into Kendrick Lamar, really enjoying his music, really dissecting it, really just mulling it over and thinking about it. Well, many things come to pass. Time changes. I change. Life changes. I am a new person now, living a completely different lifestyle in a completely different area, starting my next chapter. It's almost like it's a different book. And then Kendrick Lamar releases his new album. And I'm listening to it, and I'm just not getting it. Everyone's telling me that it's like the best album to have ever been released of all time. I need to listen to this album. And I just don't get it. I need to spend some time maybe reading the lyrics. The sound of it just isn't to my taste, I guess. It's not like Damn, where like that's everything in that album's a hitter. It's not like To Pimp a Butterfly, where everything in that album's a hitter. It's not like Good Kid, Mad City, where you've got some hitters, but everything is listenable. In this song, it just feels like there are no hitters, and nothing is like enjoyable at all. So maybe I need to like listen to the lyrics. To me, it feels like you know how there's different types of art? There's art that's made for people like me and people like you. And then there's art made for like artists, and then there's art that's made for like art enjoyers. And it felt like that album was made for like art enjoyers, you know, like the people with super refined palates for music. Like, it didn't feel like it was music that was meant to be consumed by the everyday person, the everyman, so to speak, you know. Damn was an album that was made for the everyman. Like, there's like poppy hits, like chart toppers, you know, like the type of music that like you would find one of your friends listening to, right? And then like To Pimp a Butterfly, that's like an album meant for like you and your buddy who's super into music. Sit back and you guys go, have you checked this album out? Have you listened to this song? Like, you're not like analyzing anything. These are just like people who like really love music, right? There's like normies who just kind of listen to music, like they have like a gym playlist, and then there's like people who like really listen to music. To Pimp a Butterfly was like an album meant for people who like really listen to music. But the what is that album's name? I need to look that album's name up because it's like it has a very strange name. I'm just gonna call it the Steppas. I don't even know if that's the album's name. I need to look it up. But that album felt like it was meant for like people who like are into postmodernism, like the art critic. Like that's what that music. That's what it sounded like it was meant for. It didn't sound like it was meant for me or any of the people I hang out with, which, by the way, a super diverse cast of people. You know, it's not like we're all just from the same area or even the same economic situation, you know, the same cultures even, or even same religions. Like, we're a pretty diverse cast of people, but it just did not feel like that music was meant for me or any of my friends. So it was just very strange. I didn't get it. And we're gonna look this album up after we carve. After we carve, we're looking the album up because I need to know the name. I just need to know the name because it's gonna drive me nuts. It will literally drive me nuts. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppas. Okay. I knew it was called Big Steppas. Okay. Mr. Morale. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppas. Oh, man. Rough. I need to go back and listen to it. I really do. It's probably not as bad as I'm remembering. And when I say bad, I just mean it's probably not as you know, I don't know. It feels like Morala in the Big Steppas. It's like, have you ever had snail? I've never had snail, but whenever people talk about like fine dining, like they talk about like eating snails, and like you hear that and you're just like, that sounds like a horrible experience. Mr. Morale in the Big Steppas, it feels like that while you're listening to it. At least for me specifically, you know, the unrefined, everyday, common man, you know. So, the guy who works a 9 to 5, you know, the guy who has a job and who just so happens to really enjoy music, you know. Nothing serial, right? I have not spent a lot of time listening to like G and X or whatever the other album's called. Squabble's okay, it's whatever. Just doesn't hit the same. So anyway, all this stuff is going on, and something that Kendrick Lamar is doing kind of like really rubs me the wrong way, and that's like his recent weird thing with the crown of thorns, right? The bejeweled crown of thorns. I don't like it at all. When I said that, I thought of like the Fox News snippet where they're talking about what's that song? All Right? And they want to kill us in the street, faux show. I don't like it. Like, it's like these two Fox News anchors talking about All Right, which is a fantastic song. Anyway, the female newscaster goes, I don't like it. That's how I feel about his other two albums. I don't like it. You know, I don't know. I'm tempted to say really harsh things. Like, it feels like he ran out of things to say. That's what it feels like. That's what it sounds like to me. But it's important to note that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppas and GNX apparently are super deep albums with a ton of writing styles and techniques, and like all, it's like really deep music. It's as deep as his old music. Trust me, bro. I don't get it though, because I'm too stupid, I guess. And it kind of sucks because like the reason he's big right now is not because of those two albums. The reason he's big right now is because of his beef with Drake, which is the most skin-deep, shallow crap imaginable. I don't know. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because I like really liked him as an artist, and it just feels like his recent stuff is not hitting the same. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not like a music critic, so my opinion doesn't matter. But let's get back to what I was saying. His weird... Oh, hold on. His weird crown of thorns shit. Not a fan of. And there's a lot of reasons I'm not a fan of that. First of all, to take on the iconography of Jesus Christ is a bit excessive, maybe. Even as a joke, even as a statement, it's a bit much. But just the premise of it rubs me the wrong way, because it feels like he put the thorn of crowns on because to him this is supposed to represent the aesthetic of Jesus Christ, or the aesthetics of like a prophet. He's matching the aesthetics without understanding the deeper symbolatry? I don't know. Without understanding the actual symbol itself, right? Like the crown of thorns has it's an important symbol with very important themes behind it. One of the really important themes behind it is humility. That's like the whole point. That's like the fifth grader perception on the crown of thorns, is it represents humility. It represents a lot of other stuff too, like man not understanding God. That's another thing that it represents, right? Man doesn't understand God. If I remember correctly, the way that the story goes is Jesus Christ is getting ready to be crucified, and so he has to go through all these different punishments. And this is not one of the punishments, but the soldiers who are doing this to him are making fun of him. And by making fun of him, he's like, oh, you're really the Son of God? Well, here's your crown. And then they give him a crown of thorns, right? So, on its face, if I just told you that's the story, there's a couple of like symbols, themes that are being played with within that story, right? The one of humility. How could the Son of the creator of the universe be put in a position where people are shaming him, and by shaming him they're forcing him to wear this very painful and it's like degrading, right? Like, this is how you would make fun of a king, right? Like a king who's lost his kingdom. This is how you would make fun of him. You would give him a crown of thorns. But there's these other themes that are a little hidden, but if you spend some time thinking about them, you're like, oh, that's obvious. One of like the important things that I just realized recently talking about this with a friend of mine was that the crown of thorns also represents the pain and power, right? Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who is also supposed to be God himself, has a lot of power, and with that power comes pain, right? Like, so there's literally all these different themes that are being played with, right? Because thorns cause pain, they cause suffering, they cause injury, and a crown is power, right? So it's all these different contrasting themes that are being played with. And if you like you could write an entire paper on all of the symbols that the crown of thorns represent. And you've got Kendrick Lamar wearing it like it's a fashion statement. And I don't give a fuck if he's got a reason for it. He's clearly missing the point of the actual meaning behind that symbol. And maybe he's not missing the point. Maybe he's trying to critique it. But I don't know what you're trying to say by making a bejeweled version of a crown of thorns, right? Like there's no statement that's being said unless it's a statement about himself, which is, I'm a prophet, but I'm only a prophet for personal gain, right? Like, that's what it sounds like. Like, if that's the only statement that I see when I see the crown of thorns, his bejeweled crown of thorns. I am a prophet for hire. I am a prophet for personal gain. I'm in it for the money and fame, which is funny because he literally has songs where he... Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. They put me on stages. To me, that's amazing. To you, that's a quick check with all disrespect, right? Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Like, he literally, like, preaches against this very idea of being who he is for personal gain. And I get it. In Damn, he touches on it in Damn, and he also touches on it in Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But this idea that he's not a prophet. He's not a savior. He's a human, just like the rest of us, right? And he's been elevated to this position that he doesn't want to be at, right? Like, he talks about that. And those are interesting conversations. But to, like, talk about it in the context of his little getup and his little outfit that he's wearing. Ugh. So frustrating. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's clever. I don't think I don't think it even says something worth saying, you know? Not your savior. Not your savior. Not your savior. Not your savior. He's nobody's savior. Not a fan. Disappointed, actually. Straight up disappointed. It's okay. Ultimately, nothing matters, so who gives a shit? I'm just sad. I'm sad. One of my two favorite artists are crashing out hardcore. The other one, finally, we've all been begging for him to say this, but he finally said he doesn't think he's a Nazi. How long did that take? 2 years? I'm just not in a good place, guys. One of my two favorite artists are, like, going down the shitter. From at least my personal experience. K-Dot, obviously, Kendrick Lamar is fucking huge. Everybody's going on and on about it. People are listening to him who have never heard about him. Fucking great. I'm so happy. But not because he's releasing good music, but because he had a little spat with one of the largest musicians of all time. It's kind of funny because, like, for people who love music, we already know who Kendrick Lamar was. For people who just kind of listen to music as, like, background, they're now just learning about Kendrick Lamar. Like, I hate to say it, Drake is bigger than Kendrick Lamar. That's not to say anything about the content of their music or the quality of their music, but Drake is bigger, right? And so the only reason K-Dot is blowing up right now is because of Drake. It's so sad. It hurts my soul. I don't know. I need to talk about something else because it's bringing me down. It really is. I have so many memories that are closely tied to Kendrick Lamar's music. I have a lot of memories that are just literally go hand in hand with several of his songs. I'm doing 329? When did that happen? Holy crap. I didn't realize I was throwing out 329s. Oh, dude. Fuck you. Get fucked. Pop. 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 Boom. Yeah, so who knows? Who cares? None of this matters. It's all a game. What does Lil Wayne say? I'm just building castles in the sand, right? Which, by the way, that was so fucked up. Lil Wayne was not at the Super Bowl, and his own area, right? And the guy who's in charge of picking the halftime entertainment, Jay-Z, is like kind of like a homie with Lil Wayne, right? Like Jay-Z and Lil Wayne have President Carter, right? One of the Carter songs. And Lil Wayne literally quotes back one of Jay-Z's earlier songs. Yeah. That was rough. Lil Wayne should have been at the halftime show. And then Kendrick Lamar calls out Lil Wayne. Oh, that was rough too. And the shitty part is Lil Wayne is a really good artist. Like he's really good. There's a lot of garbage from Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has a lot of like garbage songs and garbage tracks. Like, don't get me wrong. He's got a lot of shovelware. But, like, he's got some killer lines. And it's not like he hasn't released a good song in a long time, right? Like, I mean, okay, maybe that was a while ago. When was that album released? Back in 2019? 2019, I want to say. That was a good song. What was it? What's that song? My cousin loves that song. Let's see if I can remember even some of the lyrics. Like, I can think of the tune. Work Out, Let It All Work Out. Is that the song? Is that what it's called? Let it all work out. I'm tone deaf. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm tone deaf. I love music, I'm tone deaf though. Let it all work out. We're gonna take these cars real quick and then we're gonna look up Lil Wayne's albums. Couldn't have been that long ago when he released that album, right guys? Ooh, don't break that. The Carter 5. The Carter 5 is a good album. Is it Let It All Work Out? View 10 More. Uproar. Uproar is really good. I love that song. Took His Time. Really good song. Let It All Work Out. Yep, I thought so. It's called Let It All Work Out. Uproar. Really good. I want to say Dope New Gospel was good. It was alright. Famous was good. Took His Time. Good. Let It All Work Out. Really good song. Fantastic song. Are we gonna have another pour of bourbon? We're gonna have another pour of bourbon. This right here is called Smoke Wagon. Now this guy's a blender. He buys the barrels and then he blends them and makes something new with them. I believe it's all MGP. And this one in particular used to be called Uncut the Younger. It's now called Desert Colt. Full strength, no water added, ever, non-chill filtered. So, ooh, that wasn't, the cork wasn't in all the way. I don't like that. Hopefully it's not flat. So, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Non-chill filtered, I like that. So the reason they chill filter bourbon is so that they can have a more consistent flavor profile across all the bottles that they release. However, you take away not only some of the uniqueness, but some of the flavors that really, it just tastes better. It tastes better. Don't chill filter it. Like, I promise you, it will taste better. So this one in particular is what we call a barrel proof, meaning oftentimes when you're drinking bourbon, it's at a higher proof when it comes out of the barrel, and then they dilute it with water and they bring the proof down. It gives them more bottles, and it also makes it a more approachable proof. Lots of people prefer 80s or 90s. Not a lot of people want, what is this one? 124 proof, or 14. It's 114 proof, excuse me. Right, so a lot of people are like, they want like, whoa, where am I at right now? They want like 80 proof is what people want, or like 90 proof. And this is substantially more than that. I like a high proof. It feels like there's more flavor. Your mileage may vary. But if it's a good barrel proof, it feels like there's so much more flavor to it. I just can't explain why. There we go. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm a huge bourbon guy. One of my favorite bottles right now, one of my top bottles right now, if you guys are like looking around and you've got like two Benjamins burning a hole in your pocket, which is doubtful because that's really expensive for just one bottle of whiskey. Booker's Infinite. Holy crap. Or it's called Infinity. It's either Infinite or Infinity. You see that on the shelf for less than $200, you pick that the fuck up because that is so good. It's one of the best bourbons I've ever had. Now, my favorite ever bourbon that I've ever had before in my entire life, Wild Turkey Decades. That was so good. I can't remember which year. It's one of my dad's bourbons. I don't own it personally. It is maybe one of the best bourbons I've ever had. Which is surprising. My dad's like, only okay. It's not that great. It's that great. It's so good. It's one of my favorites. But this, on the other hand, is really good. And you're like, okay, it's really good. How much is it? $30. I paid less than $40 for that bottle, and it's a barrel proof. Unheard of. Like, talk to anybody who's into bourbon and say, hey, yeah, I'm looking for a barrel proof that's under 40, and they'll be like, good luck, dude. This is really good. Used to be called Uncut the Younger. It's now called Desert Colt. Highly recommend it if you pick it up. Don't spend more than $50 on the bottle. Although, the first time I bought it for like $60, and I did not regret the purchase. The only reason I say don't pick it up for more than $50 is because there's places that will sell it for $30. So just find the place that sells it for under $40 and pick that up. You know what I'm saying? But it's worth $60. Like, I would pay $60 for it just to have it. I probably wouldn't buy it again after that. But if it was my first bottle, I'd spend $60 on it. And I did spend $60 on my first bottle. Boom, just died, dude. Nobody even likes you. You're not even a new monster. You're like from Monster Hunter 4. I'm not playing correctly. I get it. I know, guys. I know. I'm not playing correctly. I need to play a little bit more optimally. But, you know, I'm just chilling. Let me just chill, okay? I'm judging myself, too. Don't worry. I know I shouldn't be playing like this. But I just want to zone out as I grind this thing. I think we might have one more fight, and then I'm calling it. Get fucked, motherfucker. You're done. So if anyone's just getting into Monster Hunter and they're wondering, hey, is this a thing I should dedicate my life to? Which one should I start off with? I would recommend starting off with Monster Hunter World and not this one. This game is really bare bones. And it's not as good as Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World is not only cheaper, it's more fleshed out, because they've had the DLCs, they've worked out all the bugs, and it's an overall better experience. The vibes are way better in that game, too. This one? So, you know when you're served a full course, like a full meal, like an actual full meal, okay? Like, let's say you go to a restaurant and you're like, bring me out the meal. And they bring you out the meal and it's a plate of Skittles. And it's like, have fun! And you're eating the Skittles, and you're like, wow, I really like this. And then it's like 30 minutes into the meal, and you're like, wow, that's a lot of Skittles. I'm sick of Skittles, okay? That's Monster Hunter Wild. Monster Hunter Wild is nothing but a plate of Skittles. Monster Hunter World, on the other hand, is a ribeye steak with broccoli and mashed potatoes. You're eating it, and you're like, oh, okay, this is really good. And then if I have the broccoli with it too, not only is it healthy, but it complements the steak. Wow, someone did a really good job crafting this game. That's Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World has a bit of vegetables, but it's balanced out with the rest of the meal. This game, in particular, is nothing but a sugar rush. Excuse me. A sugar rush. Like, it's like non-stop action. The vibes that normally come along with a Monster Hunter game are missing. Tracking is gone. It's just fight, fight, fight. And to make things worse, this might be the worst story of any Monster Hunter game I think I've ever played. Holy crap. All the money that Capcom invested into the story should have been invested into making game mechanics and more, like, vibrant villages or camps. Excuse me, they call them camps. There was a time back in the ye olden days where a Monster Hunter game would take place in a city that had its own culture and style. And now it's just these makeshift camps with no personality or any type of artistic creativity to be seen anywhere. It's like, bleh, garbage. You want a good game, go play Monster Hunter Worlds, enjoy the fuck out of it, have fun, and then if you really like it, come to Monster Hunter Wilds. And then after Monster Hunter Wilds, if you're like, I really like this, Monster Hunter Generations. Holy crap. That might be the better of the, what would you call it? We'll call it pre-Monster Hunter. We'll call this post-Monster Hunter. This is post-Monster Hunter. Generations is pre-Monster Hunter. And Generations might be the best out of all of them. Now, My personal favorite out of all of them is Monster Hunter Tri. I love that game. It has a special place in my heart, even though, for the most part, people do not like it because of the inclusion of underwater combat, which is a super important part of that game, is underwater combat. Lots of people didn't like it. I didn't think it was that bad. But Monster Hunter Tri is where I started. Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii. Really good game, at least in my opinion. Monster Hunter 4, also really good. I enjoyed that as well. But Monster Hunter Generations is probably the best Monster Hunter game before Monster Hunter had its glow up in Monster Hunter World. But a lot of the things that we enjoy in a Monster Hunter game started off in Monster Hunter Tri. That's a fact. Oh, that was perfectly timed. You couldn't have asked for a better timed attack. Literally. Like, I didn't do that on purpose. It just so happened that everything lined up. Oh, man. Yeah. So, whatever. What are you going to do? Life changes. The Legend of Zelda is no longer The Legend of Zelda. It's something completely different that is foreign to me, and that makes me sad and scared. No longer is The Legend of Zelda the game that I used to know and love. It is something completely different. But that's okay, because times change, and I am old, and unfortunately, I don't get to change with the times. Is now a good time to talk about how Breath of the Wild was fun, but nothing can replace a good old-fashioned Legend of Zelda game, like the classic ones? My sister loved Breath of the Wild. And when I say she loved Breath of the Wild, I mean she, like, almost 100% Breath of the Wild. She's got a ton of the Korok tears. Like, so many of them. Like, when you look at her map, she's got, like, all of them. Like, it's just, you can't even see anything. It's nothing but Korok tears. I think they're tears, right? Are they tears? Who knows? It's a common trope in The Legend of Zelda to collect tears. So I'm going to assume they're tears. I miss the old style of dungeons. Call me old-fashioned. I liked it when I went into a dungeon, I got a tool, and that tool taught me a new mechanic, and in order to solve that dungeon, I had to use the new tool plus all the other previous mechanics that I had learned up until that point. I like that. I miss that. I don't get that anymore. Instead, I get shrines with garbage puzzles. Dude, life sucks. What happened? I'm not even 30 years old yet, and I'm still bemoaning of what life used to be before the TikTok generation. Fuck. Dude, can you imagine how grumpy I'm gonna be when I'm 60? Oh, man. But I have to accept it. I have to accept it because this is how the times are going. And to be fair, I can't argue if mine is better or not because I can sit and talk about how my way is better all day long. I can talk about how things used to be better, how life was better, how people actually cared about things. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because they're never going to make another old school classic Legend of Zelda game. Those days are over. Doesn't matter if they were better. You're never getting a new one. So I grit my teeth and I go, yep. At least The Legend of Zelda is being shared with a modern audience. At least my children are going to recognize Link in a lineup. That's how the story stays alive. It evolves and it changes with the generation. Even though in its evolution it loses what it was and what it meant and why it was so important to so many people. But at least it continues to live on, a former shell of itself, no longer representing the symbols it used to represent, and instead is something completely different. I get it. As I grow older, I change and I mature. But I'll tell you one thing. I was grim from the beginning, and I will be grim till the end. Sure, I work harder now that I'm older. Sure, I'm more patient with people than I used to be. I have changed. But at my core, I am still grim. And that's not going away. Unlike The Legend of Zelda, where Link used to be something, but now he's something completely different. Wee! Wee! Pop! 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 Homie! Dang it, that tongue messed me up. Come on, face me. Face me, you bitch. I'm getting old and I don't like it. The world's a changing and I don't like it. I'm getting left behind. It's no fault of mine, but I am getting old and no one's got room for me. Ba-da-dee-dee-dee. Whatever, nothing matters, nothing ever mattered. I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling like a villain. Dude, why are people accepting my quest? Get out of here, man. Like, I complete this way before you can even be a part of it, dude. Alright, that's enough alcohol for now. I got work tonight. I might have to shave my mustache. It's respirator tests. And during the respirator test, if my mustache is too long and the respirator cannot make a perfect seal, then I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Isn't that gonna suck? I love my mustache. I'm not sure how long I've been growing it though. I want to say I've been growing it for a very, very long time. But I also want to say that during my first respirator test, I like shaved all of the hair off my face to make sure I passed. But who knows? I don't, dude. Holy shit, 5 years went by so fucking quick. I did. I got this job like 5 years ago. And it's like, I don't know where all the time went. Holy smokes. At my last job, I only worked there for 3 years. It feels like I worked there twice as long as I've worked at the job I'm working now. And the job I'm working now, I've literally worked at twice as long as my previous job. So time is an illusion. It's fake. It's not real. Be prepared for time to move faster as you get older. I'm not even 30 yet, and look at the stuff that I'm saying. This is ridiculous. Sorry, dude. You joined literally... Like, why are you even joining this quest? Like, I'm finishing it in less than 5 minutes. Consistently. I don't know. I don't know if consistently is true. This is just a guess I have. Alright. I think that's it, guys. I think I'm going to have to call it. Before we get off, we're going to try and upgrade some of the armor. Excuse me. Is that the weapon I literally want? Why is my affinity... Stamina Thief is good, but this has Stamina Thief as well. What was the weapon that I desperately wanted? Was it down here? Yeah, it's this one right here. This is the one that I want. The Graviton Hammer. I want this weapon so bad. But that's only because Blast was super OP in Monster Hunter World. Like, Blast 400? That's ridiculous, right? I think that means it does 400 additional damage. But I need Hunter Symbol 2s, and I have not been fighting Frenzied. Are they Frenzied? Is that the ones I need to be fighting? I think they're Frenzied. I've not been fighting the proper monsters for me to be getting Hunter Symbol 2s. But... Poison's okay. So, let's talk. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk shop. So, the reason that I'm running Paralysis is because I'm a hammer. But as a hammer, I'm actually playing support, which is very strange for a hammer to play, but not really. I'm playing with a lot of, like, low-level hunters. I'm playing with one hunter who's never played a Monster Hunter game before. I'm playing with another hunter who has played Monster Hunter games in the past, but doesn't really like them too much. And then I'm playing with another hunter who played Monster Hunter World, but hasn't really played anything else. And because of that, I want to make the hunts as easy as possible for them. So when you have KOs plus Paralysis, you go through monsters really quick. They really appreciate it. It makes the game a lot easier for them. Now, for solo play, the Graviton Hammer, oh my gosh. That's the hammer to have. But technically, the real hammer to have is... Where's the artisan weapons? That's the real hammer to have. But I don't think I have anything that's rarity 8. Do I have anything that's a rarity 8? I do not. So, that's why I haven't messed with artisan yet. I will be grinding, and I will be investing in that stuff. But right now, I'm just vibing with what I have and what I got. So... what did we want to do? We wanted to upgrade armor, right? Upgrade. We're going to upgrade this. We have 106. Upgrade it to the max, huh? 105? We're not upgrading this to the max. We're not even going to upgrade it. Because if it takes that many advanced armor spheres to upgrade it to max level, I'd rather hold on to them and upgrade armor I actually care about instead of just this. So, I do have 31 hard armor spheres. How many does it take? $21. So technically, the meta for this game is not this armor. So I won't be using this armor in the sense of meta. Which means that even though I would like to upgrade this all the way, I can't. So there's no reason to upgrade it yet. When I have more advanced armor spheres, I might consider it, but right now it's like, it's a waste, because this is not armor I'm going to be using anyway. This is like short term, until I collect the armor pieces that I actually need. So let's look at Arkveld. Can I even make any Arkveld armor? Oh, what's this armor? Ooh, that looks bad. I don't like this armor at all. Guild Ace. Peak Performance, Constitution, Foray. Okay, they all have. What's Foray do? That's interesting. Let's check that out. Increase attack power and affinity against large monsters affected by poison or paralysis. Affected by. So is that all of them? Reduces fixed stamina depletion by 10%. Increases attack when your health is full. Okay. I don't think I can make any of the Arkveld armor. So I need to kill some more Arkvelds. That is sick armor, though. Okay. This is the female version. I do like the female version. I like that one the most. It could go either way. I do like the male version a little better than the female version. I do like seeing my fingers. And I like the fur. Oh, that's a tough one. It could go either way. I like the female version for the coil. Oh, that's tough. Oh, that's so tough. Oh, that's tough, dude. Oh, that's so tough. It could go either way. I like them both. I love the tattoos. I love the tattoos, but I also love that. That's tough. I would have to think about it. I would have to spend some time considering and thinking about it before I made any decisions on which style I would use. Oh, and so this is the Arkveld, but not the Guardian Arkveld. The Guardian Arkveld, low-key, is not as good as the normal Arkveld. Holy shit. Don't like the female Arkveld, though. Don't like that. So I would stick with the male. Oh, that's so tough. Oh, that's tough. Oh, that's so tough. I love the lopsided aspect of this. I love it being on one side, but I also like it being on... I love those horns, and I love it being on both sides. Oh, that's so tough. Oh, and it's braided too? Oh, that's difficult. But you know what I don't like? This is why I don't like it. Because the chest piece is not complete. That's why I don't like it. Okay, so what about the arms? Chains. Always chains. When in doubt, go with chains. Guaranteed. Okay, the coil. Female version. Definitely female version. Oh, definitely the female version. Okay. So... when in doubt, so you know how I said when in doubt, always go chains? Oh, that's so sick. But I don't like how the thighs are bare. I don't like it. I don't like the thighs being bare like that. So that's unfortunately because I don't want the thighs to be bare. I'm forced to do that. But I would do this. Oh yeah, no. In a blink of an eye, that's the armor set I would have set. I love this to death. This is amazing. Okay. Gore Magdala. Let's see what you got for us. I don't really like the Gore armor, if I'm being honest. I don't like it. I never have. Yep. Yep, that's what I would do. Alright, well, I think it's time to call it. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun too. I'll be streaming tomorrow, so tune in for that. It's going to be around the same time, 6 in the morning, so wake your ass up and come spend some time with me, okay? In the meantime, y'all stay frosty, and for whatever you do, do not take a crown of thorns and bejewel them, okay? Okay, we don't need more bejeweled crowns of thorns, okay? You're missing the point of the symbolism. You're missing the point completely when you do shit like that. So understand the symbols that you're playing with and respect them, because those symbols have meanings and they communicate those meanings to other people, okay? That's why symbols are important. Symbols are important because you're communicating to people with them, okay? So understand the symbols you're playing with and don't just use them because other people that you like or want to embody use them, okay? Everybody stay frosty, go to bed. I need to go to bed. Or if you're just waking up and getting ready for work, I hope you have a great fucking day, y'all.